What's going on, snappers? It's Fizz. Sub to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I don't feel the same about music anymore. And there's a couple reasons. One, because how I used to feel about music when I first heard it. Of course, I had different experiences and a lot went through my life, of course, and I feel different about some things. But when I first heard music originally, when I got really indulged into it and really felt it, I used to play like RuneScape, and I used to have headphones on and I would listen to it while I would play a game, basically, or just listen to it. And some of the things I would listen to, like bands, Green Day, just bands, Simple Plan, and probably a bunch of other ones. Those are just some that I can remember at the time. And the feeling that I got from it made me, the way it just made me feel, made me want to give that back to people, the feeling of music. And I would always listen to headphones when I was in school all the time. Now, whether I was listening to music for entertainment or just to block everything out, I don't know. But I'd listen to it on the bus when I would work out. And of course, I'd listen to a lot of it through the headphones. And of course, you would silence everything out. And definitely when I used to like work out, but more so when I would like, sorry, I fell out. When I do cardio and run, and I would listen to the music all the time through my headphones. And yeah, it did give me a boost, and it just made me like tune out and really get into like a meditation type of scenario. So the thing is though, now that I realize and through all the stuff that I've been through, what music really is, and again, everyone's gonna have their own subject definition to it and how it makes them feel and yada yada yada. But why I don't feel the same about music anymore? Because one, of course, it's all just sound in the end of the day, what music is, and it's vibrancy and frequencies, what it really is. I think the best music is made spontaneously and randomly and is simplistic for the most part. And it doesn't have all this added stuff, and it's not too complicated. I could get into the details of what I don't like about music and yada yada yada. As I was saying before though, about feeling about with the bands, country, for some reason, I have nothing against really any genre of music, but country, every time I'd listen to it when I was younger, I didn't like the way it touched me emotionally. It just made me really sad. And see, this is what I was saying, well, what I was coming upon saying or expressing was, all music, for the most part, especially music you hear nowadays, 99% of it that's commercialized and you hear on the radio, through the screens, and da 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 da. They, of course, this is how it always is. They're trying to invite you into their life and what they're experiencing. Of course, I understand it is self-expression, and pretty much almost everything is. But I didn't like the way country made me feel. It was just way too emotional and way too touching. I mean, of course, I know people love country, and some people are going to feel completely subjective to that and different about it, and that's fine. I just remember my one friend's mom, every time she would put it on, it would just touch me too deeply. And it's not that I'm afraid to explain my emotions, but I didn't want to feel that. And this is a great lead as how I'm going to get into my other things. Music just, for the most part, wants you to get into their way of feel and how they're feeling. And the most part is, most of it's depressing and it's sad and violent or angry. And I understand these people are expressing their emotions. I get it. But of course, when you're younger, you don't realize this, especially little kids, that you might subliminally, like now that I just really made the connection as I'm filming the video, yes, I understand it. But I understand this more when I took some time off and I fasted and I realized what was going on. But I always felt, I'm going to get into that other subject real quick, well, in a second, per se. But these people are just inviting you, they're just grabbing your attention and tuning you into the world. And I understand some of the music, best music, may be depressed and it may be sad, but tell me this, if you're happy and you realize this and you know yourself, you're not really going to go listen to depressing music and sad music. Most of the music is sad and depressing or exploiting in some way, and to me at this point a lot of it is just distracting me. I'd rather hear a bird chirp, as you can probably hear, or the water run, natural sounding things. Not to say music isn't, but it's kind of distorted and exaggerated, and again made to really draw your attention and distract you from the way of life actually is. And I could go deeper into that, but I'm not going to. But I just rather like to hear natural sounds anyway. And then this brings me to another thing. When you listen to music, not in its full spectrum, whereas like the bass, for example, listening to on a phone or without speakers or shitty speakers, again, you're not getting the full vibrancy of it anyway, or the full experience, and it kind of makes it delusional and not as good because it's not as loud. And I don't like if I would listen to music, I don't want to listen to it low, and phones are always on low, and I would never want to listen to it on that. And again, you're not getting all the sounds anyway when you do listen to it, when it's not through good speakers, aka ones with bass in it. Anyways, I guess this is going to be a little deeper, as in the whole context of this video. But again, there's such a process when you have to go through the music, you know, that it almost makes it not as fun anymore, though I'm talking from an artist perspective. But another thing, I don't mean to jump around or back, that is, as I was saying, when you hear the birds and the wind and just the natural environment and the sounds, I'd rather hear that than a lot of music. That being said, because it's just an attention grabber and a distraction at the end of the day, I fulfill my own entertainment all the time. And you, like, to listen to music, I don't even have the vulnerable time to me to succumb into situations anymore, because, and what I mean by that is, basically I don't have the time or want to even listen to music anymore. Because I'm fine with the things I do. Even though I may carry my phone on me, I don't want to play music off of it. I just don't want to. I'd rather hear the natural sounds. Where I'm getting at is, I don't like playing music electrically anywhere where I'm at any time, because I don't feel the need to, and I don't want to bring some type of device that plays music with me. I just don't want to. And I have other things to do, like if I'm out going on a walk or something, I don't want to listen to music when I'm on a walk. I mean, now that's subjective to people playing live music, maybe, but as of right now, I'm not around too many people that play live music or come or walk around it or come by it, though I have nothing against it, and that's more live and raw. Even when I made music or did music, I loved it live and raw, just like completely spontaneous at the moment. Whereas a lot of stuff is prepared, and yeah, I understand a lot of it has to do with electricity. You have to go in the studio, there's a bunch of people usually behind it making this and that. It just doesn't, I just don't occupy with me and bring it with me, and I feel like it's more of a distraction towards anything. And then we come into the feel of it. A lot of these people are making soulless music and just music to occupy you and bland, and it doesn't mean anything, and it's all just a distraction. Like I said, they're trying to invite you to the world, whereas at the end of the day, I'm always trying to be happy, whether it's constantly or trying to feel good all the time. And I didn't realize this before, though I did to some extent. I was like, well, I don't want to listen to that. It's kind of like way too aggressive. I don't care, like, if that's the way you feel, or, you know, you can't, I mean, I guess you could, but you can't lie to yourself about something, how something makes you feel. I'd rather hear stuff without words. Again, I hear more stuff with the birds churning and chirping and just the natural sounds than I do through. I'd rather hear that than hear a lot of music nowadays. And then you have people and artists that have to keep making bullshit songs, unbland music, unflavorful, no soul, just so they can make money. They keep selling you a product, because that's ultimately what they do. So you keep listening to them and keep going through. But again, if I'm happy, I'm going to want to listen to relatively happy music and not depressing music. And most music is depressing and sad and yada yada yada. And another thing is like, someone who makes a sad song, of course you would never be in their feet or shoes, or aka their experiences, but just imagine how sad someone has to be to make like the saddest R&B song or a love song. Then they have to go and they wrote it down, they rehearsed it more than likely, then they have to go record it, and then they have to go say it 1,000,000 times. And they're trying to overcome a sadness, and I understand this may make them popular, this could get them rich, but they're indulging such in this sadness that, one, they have little kids mimicking it, and they're mimicking it, so it's brainwashing them, and it's really getting into them. Just think of how much time and struggle, and I understand what's going on in the connection, and I understand this is self-expression and what makes music, but then you go, you know what I mean, you're just so sad, you're again going to the studio, you wrote it down, you're rehearsing it, now you're doing it live. It's just like, oh my god, this is so sad. And you keep doing it and doing it, and I just can't imagine how sad, because if you're sad, which it's all right to be sad, especially sadness, but if you're angry, you don't want to be angry, you want to get over the anger for the most part. Same with sadness or sorrowness or grief, you want to overcome it. But indulging in it is all right, and it could be a good thing, but record a song and just go so full throttle and full length, it's just like, and now you're like listening to the song and it's depressing and it's sad, it's just like, oh my god, this is enough. Some people don't realize it though, and some people do, and some people don't give a shit. Another thing is, what I noticed a lot about music, it's an attack on the younger audience. Most people's audiences, again, because like I'm older, though I'm not that old, 24, even when I was making music or am making music, I don't listen to a lot of music because I don't necessarily want to. But that being said, definitely when I was younger, well, you could be more subliminal and people are more unaware and unnoticed, but they play music around you all the time, of course, when you go in the stores, ads, TV, radio, whatever. They're always trying to get you to buy something. But what I'm saying is, for music, for the most part, it's brainwashing to the children, especially because most people's audience, whether you're being aggressive, sad, whatever it is, children are listening to this and they're mimicking this. Most people's audience for music is children. It's young teenagers. This is the audience. This is your audience. And it's just like, you know what I mean? People being so mad all the time and angry, and it's all right for now and again, but overdo it or have a lifetime of it, I don't know. Especially when you're attacking kids, it's just like, because most people's audience, whether you know it or not, it's all kids, which is even more ridiculous. That's pretty much all I have to say. And rounding it out, I guess what I'm gonna end it with is be aware what you listen to and what you want to listen to. I guess I just don't feel the same about music, and I've done it for such a long time where I made music, and it just doesn't feel the same. Not that I wanted it to be like that, but I just noticed a lot more in what was really going on behind it. And a lot of the time, the best music is the music you could never describe, which probably would be like a Beethoven symphony or some natural sounds that you would hear, though anything could be the music which you would define. But I'm talking about more stuff that is recorded and that we have access to 24/7. But again, the best music would be ones that didn't invoke a feeling and make you buy into their picture of how they're feeling. I understand that's what music from artists for the most part try to do, but there is music where you don't have, it doesn't make you feel a certain way. It's undescribable really, and that's what the essence of music is to a point. And I understand people are gonna have differences in different says, but again, I'm just giving my opinion. Thanks for tuning in. Check out some of my other videos, subscribe to the channel, give me a like if you feel what I'm saying, give me a dislike if you hate yourself. Doesn't matter. Thanks for tuning in.